I spoke with 13-year-old Sean Howell's aunt, and she tells me she is numb. The family just can't understand how this happened. 71 shots were fired just outside this bar early this morning. You can see the chalk marks left on the ground as police try to count up all of the shell casings. In total, 5 people were shot, and so far police say they haven't made any arrests.
Now, as soon as fans found out the kid from Akron is going to be taking his talents elsewhere, of course they came just outside the queue to see the poster. A lot of people wanted to get their picture, their selfie with the poster before they are afraid they'll take it down. Now, we've seen people wave goodbye, take their selfies with thumbs down. We've had a lot of people yelling and cheering as they come by. Michael was actually in the area when he got the news. Michael, why was it important for you to come down just outside LeBron poster?
Parma police tell us the 41-year-old man parked in this parking lot. He walked himself into the lobby and he told officers he wanted to turn himself in for a crime he committed. When officers came out to the man's car, they found his child unresponsive. Neighbors tell me they figured this land would be developed someday, but they're concerned that this road wouldn't be able to handle the traffic for the commercial development. That 45-year-old woman has burns all over her body. She is in critical condition. Neighbors tell me it sounded like a bomb went off. They say their home shook. They heard a loud boom. As you can see, crews are still working to clear the debris to be absolutely certain there was no one else left inside that home. The victim was shot right here in the city of Cleveland, but drove himself a mile away. He stopped just across the street from the city line into the city of Euclid. The postal worker managed to get the woman's keys. He went to a neighbor and asked them to call 911. Lamb says one of the biggest things he wants changed are the nameplates. He wants them to say council members instead of councilman and councilwoman. Hatch says it's possible for the drones to fall out of the sky. He says the way technology has advanced, it's pretty uncommon. Going door to door showing the little boy's picture, hoping someone would know who he is. Well, this is the center of where the storm hit last night. You can actually see this tree that was snapped off. Now, Burger King workers tell me they can actually hear the tornado come up through this creek, jump over the street into that parking lot. Then it started throwing cars as if they were toys. Watch closely to the top left of your screen. There are 2 cars, both white, that will get swept up and spiraled by an EF1 tornado. The car on the left skids, slides, and is slammed onto its roof. The car on the right rolls, but lands back on its tires.
My poor coworker was outside and she was like, I was holding on to the wall.
You can see the whirling of the tornado whip through the parking lot.
All of a sudden, there was just all of our windows and doors blew open and the lights started flickering and then everything just shut down.
Inside the Burger King, they took cover.
It pretty much went through the drive-thru.
Here's another view. The light on the ceiling starts falling off and carts start blowing through the parking lot. There's a flash of light. Then you can see people start running through the parking lot. Watch this small child and their parent running for cover inside the grocery store.
It lasted for 30 to 45 seconds. It doesn't seem that long, but when you're in here, it's a really long time.
It took us by surprise because, you hear the sirens, but you just never think it's going to hit in your area.
As quickly as the twister blew through, it was gone.
We were actually surprised because we had heard the sirens and we got the notice that the tornado was coming through or that there was a possible tornado. And then when we drove through, we were kind of surprised that it actually had touched down right here.
Yeah, so the good news, even with the 90-mile-per-hour winds and carts blowing around, no one was hurt. Of course, they spent the day cleaning up today. There was some damage to the roof here at the Burger King. There's some siding missing, but they tell me, as long as no one was hurt, everything is okay. Reporting live, Lacey Crisp, Cleveland 19 News. Most of us aren't working on our Halloween decorations in April, but then again, most of us aren't the Meyer family from Parma. They celebrate their favorite holiday the biggest way they know how. If you drive up and down Luelda Avenue in Parma,
this is crazy.
It's stop and go traffic at times.
I was on Google.
We were on Pleasant Valley and now we're Googling. Where is this place at?
Everyone wants to see
Steve, go over there. I'll take a picture.
Nick Meyer's latest Halloween decoration.
That is an Imperial armored transporter for troops, we'll say, and it's from Empire Strikes Back.
7 years ago, Meyer and his family started the tradition of building a Halloween display in the front yard.
Every year this guy puts out amazing things.
I love it. I encourage it.
It gets bigger every year.
I think I kind of liked the clowns we did one year, and last year we did Friday the 13th Cabin is one of my favorites.
This is AT-AT. Are you kidding me? I had to come here to see it for myself. It's just great. I love it.
In case you were wondering, the AT-AT is 19 feet tall. One neighbor tells me he thinks they should add a Chewbacca on top.
Last year was pretty awesome, and he pretty much topped it.
You'd think some neighbors might not want to stare at a two-story Star Wars character for a few weeks, but you'd be wrong.
No, this is our 4th year living next door to them, and we love it.
People will continue to stop, smile, to look,
You get us?
and take their picture.
Do you know who this is?
No, it's been nonstop since it's been up.
Until the first week of November when they take it down.
But it's pretty popular.
And then it's brainstorming time to find a theme for next year.
Who knows what he's going to come up with for next year.
The Meyers always have a big party for Halloween. You can tell it's their favorite holiday. They tell me they're going to put out a suggestion box for their creation for next year. Lacey Crisp, Cleveland 19 News.
He kept a certain distance away for obvious reasons, but Lacey, fill us in on what you know.
Yeah, and actually they just moved us back not too long ago, about another block away from where the house actually is. If you can see down the street, the SWAT team, U.S. Marshals, Cleveland Police have all been on the scene a little over 3 hours. Now, they are looking for Tommy Griffin III. He is a former Cleveland police officer. He was arrested back in January for assaulting, kidnapping, and raping a woman. He is set to go on trial on Monday, but on Saturday, he cut his GPS ankle monitor and hasn't been seen since. Now, I spoke with his daughter yesterday. He was staying with her, and when she left for work on Saturday afternoon, she said she talked to him. He said he was going to make pierogies for dinner, so she had no clue that he was going to take off. She said his car was still in the parking lot of her apartment when she got the call saying, hey, do you know where your dad is? His GPS monitor had just been cut. Fast forward to today, about 11 o'clock, we got a call from the U.S. Marshals saying that they had a house surrounded. Potentially Griffin was inside. Now, on scene, we have been able to hear from the bullhorn police saying, you know, come out with your hands up. Can you at least come to the window, wave, let us know that you're okay? We don't know for sure that he is inside, but they do have this house surrounded, and I can tell you there are a handful of schools in this area. They have all been placed on lockdown. There are police officers at those schools. Parents have been notified to make sure that they know what is going on and that all of the students are safe at this time. But again, we have the U.S. Marshals, we have the Cleveland SWAT team surrounding this house, hopefully trying to bring out former Cleveland police officer Tommy Griffin III.
All right, we'll continue to stay on that and check in with you as well. Lacey Crisp from our affiliate WOIO. Lacey, thank you.
I had no idea he would message me later last night saying he was the suspect, and police had him surrounded.
Just before 9 o'clock Monday night, I got a tip police were surrounding a house for a possible suspect from the triple murder in North Royalton. Almost an hour later, I got a message from a man who was friends with the victim, a man who I tried to meet up with for an interview earlier that day. Here is part of our exchange. George Brinkman said to me, Valley Forge Drive, Brunswick, hostage situation, please come. Cops came for me. I'm barricaded. No lies. And I told him, get out of the house, hands up. I called Brunswick police and made sure they knew Brinkman was talking to me on Facebook Messenger. They told me to continue talking to him to encourage him to go to police. I said, can you tell me what happened? And he responded, I'm being blamed for Sue and her daughter's death. I had a broken hand since Friday. How could I control 3 adults with a broken hand? He messaged me from just before 10 until 3 a.m. and was taken into custody around 5:30 a.m. I tried to get him to talk to police. I said, please continue to talk to them. Please let me know if I can do anything. George responded, just let everyone know that I would never hurt Sue or the kids. I loved them too much.
And just to be clear, when I asked him for an interview, I did not know that he was a suspect. We talked to dozens of people on Facebook like Brinkman every day for stories. Now, it was hard for me as a mom of 2 daughters when I realized I was talking to a man accused of killing a mom and her 2 daughters. It was an unnerving evening for me.
Unnerving for sure. Great job keeping your composure in all of this. So I'm fascinated. The police said to go ahead and keep communicating with him as this was all going on.
Yeah, he was responding to me. I don't know if he was responding to them, but they told me to keep encouraging him to talk to them, to try to go out of the house and leave with them so we could end peacefully. He was telling me later, like, goodbye, this is it. So I was worried how it was going to end. I was glad to hear at 5:30 in the morning that he went peacefully.
And again, at one point you told him, go out with your hands up, try to end this. Okay.
Right.
All right, very good. Lacey, Chris, great job.